Clark, good to see you.
Good to see you, sir. How you doing?
Real well. Good chance to meet Clark out, because whenever I would talk to the coaches in the previous years, and be talking to Coach Corio, maybe had a word to talk with Coach Neal, they always mentioned Clark Al and the good job Clark does that offensive line. How long have you been on the line now?
Played offensive line since my sophomore year. Started at right guard, and now I play right tackle.
How important is that right tackle position? What do you do at right tackle?
I'm working zone blocks and just pretty much making sure guys don't get outside of me, because that's where we like to move the ball sometimes.
So to the outside you go, make sure that you kind of push these guys back in, block
yes, sir.
inside.
What I want to do is I want to ideally seal the guy and push him back towards the line of scrimmage, and if not, I want to just push him to the sideline and my running backs make the cut underneath me.
Good stuff, and it must have been working pretty well last week. Scott Johnston, 252 yards. You had Malik Stinson had 103 yards, and I think as a team, they mentioned you guys must have had 400 and some yards that
yes,
night.
Sir.
Feel good about that result then?
Very good. It just Scott and Malik make our job very easy. They find the holes, they hit the holes, and they make us look really good.
And how do you take what happened last week and carry that over this week against Page?
You practice the same, you practice with the same intensity, and you don't get caught up with the Page hype. You just treat it like another conference game.
You've been there before against Page. You were there your sophomore year, your junior year, so previous years. So how do you make yourself focus in and not get caught up in that hype?
I try to just treat every game like it's the same. I try to not get too caught up with the Spirit Week. I try to block out some of the student section stuff and just focus on what my coaches are telling me to do.
Do you kind of have to stay away from some of the students that may want to kind of get you carried over toward the let's get doing this, that, and the other, getting your mind away from the game? Have to kind of dodge some of that?
It's not really any of that. It's just like everyone wants to say, beat Page, and you hear this very early on from the beginning of the season, to up to the Page. A lot of students say, Page, we got to beat Page and everything, and I say, well, we take it one game at a time.
And that had to be a big win against Southern Alabama to get back in the win column last week.
Yes, sir.
Turning it around, we talked to the players already about that. How you were able to turn it around? Because you've been getting beat the previous weeks after the win in the first two games, hit that slow stretch. Then you come back and get a big win, put 55 points on the board, and just have a well-played game against. When did the light go up? When did things start to click?
More or less, Southern Alabama, we had a few of our players back. We were more healthy. We had our guys back, and we really just realized, this is either it. We start winning now or our season's over, and I know that the seniors and I know the juniors and I know everyone on the team does not want their season to be over at the end of November.
Important. How do you think and why do you think Grimsley is a playoff team?
We have the experience. We've been together for 4 years. We have the talent. We just haven't put it all together. And I think this year is what we're doing. We're putting that all together. We're putting the hard work together, and we're putting the talent together.
Do you start to look down the road and say, man, we've only got so many games left to do this in? Because I think there's 4 games left in the season now.
It's very hard not to. A lot of people, they want to say, well, look ahead to Page. And it is kind of hard to keep a level head and focus on game to game. I catch myself doing it, and I have to just really focus on one game at a time and win this game.
And what will your role be again tomorrow? You talked about trying to push everything back to the inside and thinking about your role in the game. How do you become a leader, too, for tomorrow night? Because you're a senior, you kind of be one of the guys in charge.
I more or less just try to lead with my actions. I don't consider myself a leader that's going to get everyone hyped up with a huge speech. I don't really think of those on the fly. I more or less just focus on working with my actions, and I try to get that to feed off my teammates.
How did you carry some of your football talents over to the baseball field last year? I came to see a couple of baseball games and said Clark has improved his baseball game along with his football.
I've played baseball since I was younger. Basically football, just staying in the weight room, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster. Trying to get a little quicker down the first base. Speed's never been exactly my cup of tea, so I'm trying to just get better with that, get better feet.
You're not in that Prince Fielder speed category yet, though, are you?
No, I think I'm a little quicker than him, but
Gotcha. How about from Page? Look at that defense. That's all you guys do, offensive line, tough from Grimsley. You look over at that Page defense. What do you see on that defensive side of the ball as you attack them tomorrow night?
I see some good defensive linemen, and if we don't block them, they're going to blow our offense up. And the big thing with our offense is he can go really good, and he can go really bad. We got to execute our jobs.
You think about yourself as well as you get set for that game for Page. You kind of look back at it and kind of get ready for it. In the past, Page has had success against you guys. How do you guys avoid that Page takeover tomorrow night at your place again?
Really, just it comes down to executing our plays. The offensive line does its job. Malik does his job. Scott does his job. JT and Jared, we all do our jobs. We all execute. We're gonna be fine.
Who's your favorite high school team other than the Whirlies?
Honestly, I think the Worleys are the only team for me, to be completely honest.
Good answer there. That's solid, strong. What about a favorite college team?
A little bit tougher decision. I'd have to say I like the SEC teams, but if I had to narrow it down to one, I'm gonna have to say South Carolina.
South Carolina Gamecocks. Do you keep? Here's Dennis. He likes them too. How about, do you keep up at all? Remember the Stadnick brothers?
Yes, sir. I do remember going against them my sophomore year. Big guys.
They made a bit of a step down that way too to South Carolina. How about your man DJ Reader? Used to go up against DJ in practice every day. Now Clemson Tiger doing pretty well.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience, but I'm really proud for DJ. I knew he was going to go far, and I'm glad he's doing what he loves to do.
You're not surprised at all the way he's done there?
Not at all. DJ was very early on getting looked at. Just very good athlete, good worker, and just an overall good guy to be around.
So the success he is achieving now is no surprise to you at all. He deserves that success.
Yes, sir. As a guy that big, to be able to move that fast and be able to move that quick.
Yeah.
And,
good point.
Yeah.
Because I saw him in the game last Saturday night they were playing, and he nearly grabbed that fumble. They got loose late in the game. I think if he would have grabbed that fumble, he probably could have scooped it up and scored.
Very good athlete. I had the honor of actually catching for DJ. I was his warm-up catcher. That was a little bit fun experience as a freshman.
Had to be. Who was the regular game catcher for DJ?
That was Sawyer Highfield, my freshman year, and then it moved to Seth O'Fallon.
Well, I remember both those guys. Well, Sawyer was a great defensive player, good team leader, and Seth was just a steady little ball player. Seth could play about any place out there.
You put him anywhere, he's going to do his job.
How do you predict on that Florida State Clemson game for Saturday night?
It's going to be a good game, but I just think the way Clemson's offense is rolling, I think Clemson's got it.
What about the Heels tonight against the Hurricanes?
I think once again comes out to execution, because Heels kind of run a similar offense to us. They like to run the ball fast. If the Heels get in the groove and they get going, I think they got it. If not, then Miami's gonna pull it out.
Who would you say the best teacher is at Grimsley?
My personal favorite teacher, I would have to say, is Mr. Bernard. He's a honors marine science teacher, and I have him for a 5th period.
Good stuff. You got a lot of honors courses, AP courses?
Yes, sir.
Where's college again for you coming up down the road?
Yes, sir. College, the two schools I've really kind of narrowed it down to are the Citadel Military College in Charleston, and I'm thinking about going to, I just visited Western Carolina, and I really like that. So.
You maybe can play at Western Carolina. What do you think?
Yes, sir. I'd love to play college football.
How tall are you now?
I'm about 6 feet.
6 feet, and how much?
I clock in about 225.
You could probably play college football. Stretch you out to about 6'1", add about 20, 30 more pounds on that frame. You could probably play it. Maybe not a tackle, maybe a guard. Who knows? Possibilities are there. What do you think the final score is going to be in the Page and Grimsley game tomorrow night? Any predictions on that final score?
That's a good question, but I don't really have an exact score. I got a feeling it's going to be more for us and less for them.
Gotcha. Excited about the game tomorrow night?
Yes, sir.
More than you've ever been before. Some games maybe in previous years at Grimsley.
Yeah, I could lie and say no, but the truth is, I love the Page game. I love looking forward to it.
Do you feel the fans coming in and backing you guys up once you get on the field? Because you want to probably intermingle with the fans much before the game, because you guys got to stick together as a team, get ready as a team for that game. But does the fan interaction help you guys out some?
I would say there's something about having your student section behind you before every game and just getting you pumped up, and it's a good feeling.
If you were blocking a big man like Don, how do you go out blocking a big man?
I mean, you got to get low. You got to get low, and you got to keep your feet moving. Because if you don't, then you're going to be on his highlight tape.
How about Dennis? He's going to be a little bit more in the middle range. You got Dennis maybe the defensive end.
Take good angles, keep your feet moving, and make sure you're shimming your feet and you got a wide base.
It's all about the feet, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
Is that also in part of the weight room work in the all summer?
Yes, sir.
Season this summer?
Big thing this summer was getting stronger and getting faster. I mean, we did endless amounts of sprints on the track. We're lifting in the weight room about every day, so it's very just strength and speed, just the fundamental building blocks.
How do you block the quicker man like myself, maybe a little smaller guy like a defensive back or a linebacker maybe?
That just once again comes down to your feet. You got to have your head up. You got to see what he's doing, and however he reacts, you just go for him.
Gotcha, Clark. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck in that game. Good to see you, Clark. Gal with us. Shane.